Hi again, everyone, and welcome back to the Dwellness channel. I'll be hosting today. I'm Brian. I'm Ruth's husband and business partner and a lot of other things to her, thankfully. So today we're going to talk about lots of stuff. We're going to talk about our daughter's entrepreneurial ambitions and how we supported her recently at a local farmer's market. We're going to talk about my personal Dwellness journey and how I find my Dwellness. And we're going to talk about some DIY projects that we have going on around the house. And finally, we're going to talk also about Ruth's migraines, which are devastating, and she gets some Botox for them every few weeks. Actually, about every 10 or 12 weeks. We're hoping to bump that up because they're relentless. If anybody out there suffers from migraines, you know what I'm talking about. We go to the doctor, and she gets shots in her face and in her neck. So you'll see that. That's slightly nightmarish, so buckle up for that. Have fun, buckle up. Thanks for watching, and yeah.
Designs. I am a stylist. I help people style. First thing I do is ask them what kind of...
Well, first thing you do is kill my plant.
Okay, my bad. Okay, first thing I do is ask your color, what kind of colors you like. If you like wearing jeans and what shades, and then what kind of metals you wear. And then I ask you what kind of style you like from my selection. I have indie kind of vintage kind of look. I also have like 2000s kind of, and then streetwear. These are kind of all popular styles. No one picked coquette. Like sometimes they did, but not really.
Huh. Interesting.
Interesting. I thought they would. Even old money. I thought people would pick that, but they didn't really. And then I direct to what shops specifically. And then there's also, you can find shops on Pinterest. So if you just search up the type of style you're looking for,
yeah,
that's also where you can find it. And then if they like my advice, I do tip jar. But I just spent all my money, so.
Like a true fashionista. Well, this is very nice, my darling. And now it's time to wrap up.
Wrap it up.
So show us what you got. Well, you're putting stuff away, but like, what were you selling today?
I was selling shimmery body oils, African net sponges, body oils. That's for like eczema. I made body butter, waist beads.
Oh, body butter. Ooh, nice.
This is the bad one, mommy.
They all look good on camera.
And then shorts and dresses. I'm wearing one of the shorts.
I love it.
All the way from Africa, Togo.
Togo, yes. Because Africa is not one spot.
Yes. Cool.
Nice. Thank you.
No problem.
Oh, and what's the name of your shop?
Lulu Sissy.
Yes. Period.
How do I find my Dwellness? Well, I'm lucky enough to live with a designer, so she's been able to thrift most of the things in our house. I generally go and haul them in, and she refurbishes them and arranges them in a beautiful way. And so we've got that lovely dynamic, that teamwork there. We both know our parts, and we fulfill them. And I do the heavy lifting, and she does the fine tuning, and that's been something that we've been able to apply to other parts of our lives as well, workload and so on and so forth for our businesses. I mean, you can have the nicest house in the world, but if you don't have solid relationships within those walls, are you really living your best Dwellness life? I mean, the answer is no. So, and even if you live alone, you need to learn to love yourself. What I've discovered along my Dwellness journey is that loving yourself is at the core of being able to love other people. If you rely on somebody else in a codependent way to give you the love that you're lacking giving yourself, then you're in trouble. That person has tremendous power over you, and their moods will often affect yours, and so on and so forth. So throughout my dwellness journey, that's something that I've learned. And I'm in no way a psychoanalyst or qualified to talk about mental health. This is just my experience, my dwellness journey. So please keep that in mind as you're watching this. And something that I've struggled with throughout my life is low self-esteem, not loving myself as much as I should. And because of that, I've suffered with alcoholism. I'm sober now, thank God, but I've suffered with that. And also thank God for Alcoholics Anonymous. There's so many people out there that suffer from these kinds of things. And you usually don't, in my experience, you usually don't become an alcoholic because you love yourself. You usually, don't choose booze over paying your rent because you're so madly in love with yourself and you're able to take care of your needs. No, it's much more often that you're depressed, or that there's something weighing on you, or there's unresolved trauma in your life that you just can't find the strength to deal with. So you rely on this crutch, which for me was whiskey. And there's lots of different ones. There's food, there's smoking, there's whatever. So, but for me personally, it was alcohol, and I'm glad I'm sober now. Some of the ways that I love myself are I go on a lot of walks. This here's another one of my favorite places to go for a walk in the morning. It's very peaceful. I'm usually by myself to just kind of soak in some nature, get my body moving. Diet and exercise is very important too, of course. This is weight loss in a cup.
And health.
You don't often see somebody that's in great shape that just despises who they are. It's usually quite the opposite. Another key that I found is knowing yourself well enough to know the things that you need in a relationship, and being honest and communicating clearly that, hey, I need you to do this in order for me to prosper. So sometimes it's, I need to go for a walk and just clear my head. Other times it's like, I need X, Y, and Z without getting too personal or involved with my marriage. I need these things from you. Please help me get them. Or I just need space, or I need, a need that I have that helps me love myself is I've been a drummer for many years. Although I don't have a set right now, I really want to get one or find one that I can play regularly. I mean, there's nothing like after a bad day beating the hell out of some drums in order for you to really work through the issues that you're having. So again, these are personal things that I'm going through, that I have gone through, things that I've learned on my wellness journey. And I hope that this helps you also discover the things that you need. Again, I'm not a mental health professional. I'm just a realtor actually now I'm a real estate broker. There is a difference in the state of Vermont. But I'm just a guy who's going through it, who's living his life, and who's, I'm happy to be sharing it with all of you. So I hope that I've been helpful in some kind of a way. And I hope that, the next time you're having a bad day, you decide to go for a walk, breathe deeply, and find harmony in your space, or find your dwellness.
I'm taking it from this to this.
Oh, let me see the other this. Flip it back up.
Oh, you'll see it in a minute.
We have others to do as well.
This is one of those simple upholstery projects. Okay. And then when I get to the corner, I had already pre-cut the edges so that it doesn't bunch up. So, I don't know, everyone has their technique, but I try to get it up to a 45-degree angle. Pull it taut as taut as you can, and then I just bring that over like that. And do a double one. Yeah, let's do a third one just to be 3. I just used a comforter that we don't use, we don't like the color, we don't need it. So this one is one of the things that are my least favorite part of chairs is you find those flat heads.
So 1 out of 3 of these was a flat?
Yep.
Or 1 out of 4, I guess?
1 out of 4, yep. Giving her fresh new fabric, some extra batting to plump it up, felt pads to make sure it slides smoothly, and whoop, here we are.
What you up to, lady?
I am dying.
You're dying. God forbid.
Dying. We're all dying anyway. So I have these cushion covers that I had made, and at the time I was okay. Oh, she'll be home.
I'll get her.
I was okay with the fabric being this vibrant color, but I'm going through a brown phase, and brown works really well against the wall color. So I got some brown dye, and I'm gonna try and dye all this stuff in the sink. Let's see how it goes. So my plan is, these are clean, so what I'm gonna do is just dunk them in hot water so that they can get wet. They need to be wet before you put them in the dye bath. And then I'm gonna heat up a whole jug of water. The sink tap gets really hot, so I'll run the sink tap with really hot water and then add this just to make sure that it's hot. And then we'll run the dye bath and see how it turns out. I also have some clothes that had some bleach mishaps, so they're all gonna be brown now. And why not? I also need those cushion covers. Let's turn them all. Brown, 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 everything brown.
Now, is that going to stain our sink?
I don't think so. I mean, it's stainless steel,
That's the theory, I think, right?
but it might stain the countertops.
Okay.
So that's why I'm being very careful. Oops, I guess not careful enough.
Gasp.
the home couch, just the back cushions, because look, this middle one I restuffed with like a 2 pound. But look at this one. Look at the difference. It's a little bit. And then this one is like nice. So this is what I'm gonna do. I really like this. You know, the lighting is not really great for me. Let me see if I can find a better position. There you go. Now you can see me. Ah! Now you can see me. Working on the stuffing the couch. I'm just doing like really, what do you call it? Drastic things. Dyeing, stuffing.
Sit test.
Yeah, look at the difference. And then this is the. It's so flimsy. Look how they came out. So nice. Not been great.
That makes sense though, it's wearing off effect.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if we can like push up the frequency. Do you think my insurance can allow that?
Your Botox number 3?
I want to schedule a nerve block soon. You said like after more than a week.
How do you
I
feel?
don't know why today I'm just feeling like, I'm worn out.
Okay, we're gonna get started. You ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
First one, poke. Okay, get a break.
Yes, just for a moment. Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Ready? I have one more on that side.
It's actually not that bad.
Ready? Poke. The other side.
So how does Botox like help with migraines?
We don't have a full understanding exactly how it works. We know that it works between how the muscle and the nerve interacts. Poke. It relaxes your muscle and it then somehow goes into your central nervous system to quiet it down and reduce headache.
How you feeling?
Good. good.
Your forehead's lumpy.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Do I look like a rhino?
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
One of those Star Trek characters.
Oh, yeah. The Ferengi.
Yes. Oh, goodness.
One more.
How many times have we done this, Ruth?
I don't know.
A dozen, I should think. Another part of my dwellness journey is addressing kind of an epidemic that I've noticed in this country, and that is what I call the sitcom dad. When I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, you couldn't turn the TV on without finding some bumbling oaf of a husband who never really knows what's going on, who's inexplicably married to some gorgeous woman who keeps his life together for him, and who runs the house, reminds him of all of his problems. All he seems to be able to do is go to work and drink beer. You know, the message that sends to men is that, like, yeah, don't worry about it. When you get married, it's like having a second mom. And what I'm realizing is that that's a wildly unfair burden to put on my wife. And I don't want to be a bad example to my daughters either and have them end up with the sitcom dad, man-child husband, who doesn't do anything around the house, who doesn't keep the mental load of, like, what's for dinner, or helps out in making dinner at all, or even cleaning the house, or remembering the kids' doctor's appointments, or even remembering his own appointments. I mean, there's a massive problem with this in this country, and I think that it's time for men to stand up and do the right thing and provide not only financially for their families, but to provide emotional stability, to provide mental load support. And I'm not trying to get into gender roles or a man and a woman is the only marriage that matters. No, none of that stuff. None of that stuff. I'm not getting political here. I'm just saying that I've noticed that a lot of men rely on their wives to also mother them, and they don't have their lives together well enough to even be in a marriage in the first place. So, and I was one of those men, and I still am struggling with it. But every day I'm taking steps in the right direction, and that is part of my dwellness journey. You know, a journey of 1,000 steps begins with one step, and so just taking that step every day, and taking one more thing off of Ruth's plate, one more thing that she doesn't have to think about, one more thing that I am capable of being responsible for. And then you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, instead of being a scared little boy who doesn't know what he's doing, you can look at yourself and be like, yes, I'm a man, I'm taking care of my responsibilities. Heck yeah. I'm not saying that women can't do these things. Women are very powerful, very strong. I'm just saying that eventually the burden gets so big that it's going to break the person's back who's carrying all of these things. And Ruth suffers from migraines, like we've talked about in this episode. So I don't want her to suffer any more than she already is by also carrying the mental load of running the business and keeping the house clean and all these DIY projects that we do, as well as like knowing what's in the pantry, knowing what to buy for groceries, knowing what to, So I'm talking about not sexist things or anything like that. I'm talking about in my cisgendered life, I want to pull my own weight, and I want to be proud of the work that I do and the support that I give and the things that I provide. And I want my family to be proud of me too. And accomplishing that day in and day out gives me a wonderful sense of dwellness. And I hope, I feel like people are going to get mad at me in the comments about this, but I really just hope that men out there are taking care of their wives or husbands or dogs or whatever it may be. Just be responsible for your own things, your family. And if you don't know how to do that, look to your spouse, or look to not sitcoms. And find the example that you need and then set that example. That's all I'm saying.
Hi, so I've finished working on the dining chairs, which I really like the vibrant orange and black, and it's sort of giving like orange and dark brown, which is still wonderful. So it's flowing with the browns in the living room. And one thing that I got, forgot, it's right here. I got some plate hangers because I have a thing for plates, and I don't know if you can see, check that out, gives it tilting. So this wall is the one facing the outside in the dining area, and I just want to make it like a plate wall that has blue, oh there we go, that has blue and whites. So please forgive this stain, it's driving me crazy as well. So if it's driving you crazy, we're there together. So I have some plates that I got from the thrift store. Look at that, sort of chinoiserie. And this one is from a set, but it was on its own. And I just love the botanical coloration, and it's also kind of like watercolor. I really like that. So my plan is to stick the plate hangers on it and just have like a whole blue and white plate style going on this wall. And I sort of wrestle with the fact that I am a maximalist who doesn't like clutter. And so I try to just do a really well edited execution of my home, because I want to add more things to the wall, but I also don't want it to be visually chaotic. So what I'm finding is working for me is when I do vignettes that are either sticking to the same color or the same material. So like this one is gonna be blue and white, and that just kind of helps calm the eyes when your eyes are like resting on something that's just visually harmonious. And also just a quick update, I went and did my Botox injections last week. They're for my migraines. So it's supposed to help me have less pain or pain intensity. It's about a 75% relief for me, which is great. It really helps my quality of life. So what I'm doing is I've wiped, I didn't even tell you, I wiped with some rubbing alcohol the plate just to take out the whatever oils are on the plate, and then I'm just gonna stick it as centered as I can. The plate, and hopefully it's not gonna come off and fall on me, because that would be tragic. The Botox, it's painful but worth it. Helps me feel sane. Also reduces my stress load. So that was I just wanted to show you like part of what I go through. And I have my injections every 12 weeks, and I want to reduce or increase the frequency, because at around 10 weeks my migraines just start really ramping up. So we're gonna see if that's possible, if my insurance will allow that, as well as finding other therapies to help just really reduce that pain load, because it becomes overbearing. So there's the plate hanger. My plan was to eyeball where it's gonna go. I'm an eyeballer. No, because I'm gonna have the other blue. Like the plan is to continue getting more blue and white plates and just like fill this whole wall, and just kind of do it around this picture. This was a wedding gift. Thank you, Miss Kathy. She got it for us as a tree of life, or keep blooming, which is part of her whole branding. And I just love her on social media. I need to remember, I'll put it on the video. Her gratitude with card. Yes, gratitude with card. So thank you, card. Right there. I pride myself on my eyeballing skills. I don't know if you have those skills. So far so good. It's not perfect. No, it looks good. It looks good. I think the problem is that this blue is too blue. It's too dark blue, and this is too light. So I'm gonna, once I find more plates, I'll just keep working on that. It's always a work in progress, and I'm here for it. All right, bye.